Wait, okay, let's do a three-part harmony.
Hello. I thought we were going to do or something. Okay.
Do you want me to say something too?
Okay, so we're going to listen.
Three-part harmony.
Hello, hello, hello. Okay, ready? Okay, I'm going to go first. You ready? Hello. Okay, Megan, go first.
I thought you were all like stacking onto the melody. No? Okay.
No.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Hello.
Okay.
It doesn't. You're going too slow.
Wait.
I'm the lowest one, so
Okay. Maybe you should
It doesn't
start.
matter.
So it'd be
Okay.
Megan, you, and then me.
So I go hi.
No, just do normal.
Hello.
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 There you go.
Hello.
Oh, I can't do that.
You can't? Okay.
Wait, try
You
again.
start.
Hello.
Hello. You're supposed to sustain it.
Worst ever.
Is this your worst day of your life?
Right now is the worst day of my life.
Oh, okay. I was curious.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, sorry. All right. Hi, welcome to the worst day of my life. My name is Cherish.
I'm Megan.
I'm Patrick.
Hi,
Hi, Patrick. Welcome.
Oh, you're handsome.
Yeah, you're all right.
Okay, I need to figure out how we should share this microphone. I'm just going to kind of, I think...
Why don't you attach it to his sleeve and then lean on him?
Snuggle up.
Because that, to me, looks like the right length or distance from mouth to microphone ratio.
If you ever wonder why our episodes where we have guests sound like garbage, it's because we only know how to have two microphones at once.
Okay. Well, that looks like a good.
Are we good?
That
Oh,
looks
that's good.
great. That looks like it'll work just great. I'm just gonna snuggle right here,
Okay.
up on you. If you're, are you okay with that?
No.
Hey.
It's like more like, am I okay with it? Like I'm just saying over here. I'm just okay. I'm gonna look at the chicken.
I'm gonna try not to make you uncomfortable, Megan, but
Okay.
I can't make any promises.
Okay. Well, yeah. Just don't let your snuggling get too far.
Okay, no problem. Before we started recording, we were talking about money,
The root of all of the evil.
the root of all evil. Patrick and I were talking the other day about how wonderful it is to be. What?
I can't hear the word root. Nothing. Dick root.
Oh my god! The dick root of all evil.
I don't think I've ever heard of dick root as a term. But if that's anything like throwing ropes,
No, it's
talked about.
It wasn't throwing ropes. It was shooting
Shooting
ropes.
Oh, shooting ropes.
Shooting ropes.
Shooting ropes.
Throwing ropes
And-
is like something Spider-Man does.
Dick root is exactly what you would imagine. It
Like the
is.
base of the
The root.
bulbous base.
Just the root where it comes apart from the shaft and looks,
Root like.
Anyway.
Okay.
What the fuck? What were we talking about before dick root? The
You
root
said
of all
money.
Money.
Money, the root of all evil.
The dick root of all
The
evil.
dick root of all evil.
Oh, you and I were talking the other day about how wonderful it is being married and having separate bank accounts. I highly suggest that
Yeah.
to anyone
Yes.
ever. Mm-hmm. It's so nice.
Yeah, it is.
It's so easy now to transfer money to each other. Mm-hmm. But it's so nice to be like, this is my fucking money. I'm just spending whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And it's nice for him to be able to do that and me to be like, cool, man. Like, you just spent your money on something fun. Like, that's great. And not be like, you should probably save that. Or, like, just, well, we're
What
not.
did you spend $5.78
Yeah.
at the gas station for?
Right.
Fucking
Yeah.
anything in the gas station is
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe I wanted a cookie or I needed this. It's like,
Patrick
Yeah.
has relationship PTSD just
Yeah.
like I
Well,
do.
yeah.
it freaks me out thinking about it because I used to get yelled at for buying groceries because his card would get declined at the store when he was buying booze. You know,
Not
husband
mine.
number 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, husband number 2.
Let's specify.
Not Patrick.
Yeah.
Husband number 2 used to yell at me because he would go to the store to get his nightly booze and cigarette, like, haul that he would bring home and just drink until he was drunk and an asshole. He went to go get it, and his card was declined because I had went and gotten bread and milk and rice and that kind of shit at the grocery store. And we, like, ran out of money at that point.
Yeah.
And I got yelled at for that, you know?
Yeah.
For buying, like, literal essentials.
Yeah.
So, we both know what it's like to have somebody watching your every move, and it's terrible, and we hate it, and we don't do that to each other.
I haven't had that, though.
Ugh.
No, every time I ever went to, like... So, like, whenever I would be at work...
With your ex.
Yeah.
Specify
with my ex... Shut the fuck up, Jerry.
It's time to wake up.
I wouldn't make lunch. I would typically go out and grab a quick bite. Mm-hmm. And the way that they would do it is you could go to the commissary or you could go to the whatever it's called. Whatever we would
Not like
have.
a cafeteria.
Cafeteria. There we go. Yeah, we go to the cafeteria to get lunch.
Yeah.
Or breakfast, one of the two. But if you weren't living, like if you were living outside of post and stuff, they would charge you. And so you would, you know, if you didn't have like a card or whatever, you have to like show them like a dining hall. There you go, dining hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See,
It's okay.
I figured it out myself.
Good job, sweetie.
If you didn't have like a dining card or whatever, they would charge you money. And I'd get fucking blown up. I'd get fucking shotgun blasted as soon as I come back in.
By your ex-wife?
Yeah, by my ex-wife. What the fuck did you spend $7 on?
Which is like ironic that
like
that's
lunch
where you
or
have
breakfast,
to go. Yeah.
Or you know, I had to get breakfast or I had to get lunch. It's like, you need to start making your own. It was like, okay, so like I tried doing that for a while. I would just make, you know, a bulk amount of breakfast burritos, and it was kind of a learning learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Because I would try to make enough to like last me for a week, you know. But there was a time where I was like, maybe I should try doing, like, pushing it, like, a week and a half, you know. And then I realized, you know, the 11th day, the 11th hour is when you will food poison yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So I've done that to myself a couple times.
So you weren't like freezing freezing some of them? You were
No,
putting them like
I
the regular
was
old...
leaving them and then heating them up.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Shut up, Gary.
Was I talking this time, or like, it's? I guess this is like a bridge to a thought that I just had about somebody that I know that had like steaks of meat in the refrigerator that were like turning weird colors, and like we're talking about like being in there for, I don't know, like more than a week, like maybe like 2 weeks. And they thought that if they cooked the steak long enough that they would cook out the bacteria. Oh no. And they fed it to like all of their roommates and everyone got food poisoning and was like violently
Makes
sick.
sense.
Yeah. Anyway, that just made me think of that.
Boil it out.
Like you could just
Boil
cook it out, like
Cook it out.
cook
Cook it
out.
out.
Because you're not even supposed to have certain things in the refrigerator for very long. It's surprising that you can't have like pasta and rice and those kinds of things like in the refrigerator,
they'll grow.
as long as you would be able to have meat in the refrigerator, but they grow bacteria faster. But people don't think that. They think like, oh, that's kind of what I've had to like help certain members of my household with is how long
bury it in
something
salt.
can be in the
Bury it
refrigerator.
all in salt. Put a breakfast burrito in a big jar of salt and be fine.
Neither one of us likes to take any chances with food that's been sitting for a little while. We've both had our fair share of food poisoning events.
Oh gosh.
And
yeah.
I'm not. I can't risk it.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Well, I had another friend that their family member, like a mother, gave them some food that they'd been keeping, like kind of in a state of emergency sort of situation, like stockpile, like hoarding food, and gave them like some really super expired food. We're talking like 2016 when it's like 2020 or something. Like, and then here, like, you guys are struggling, like, you know, you need some food. Here's like all these cans, or I don't know what to do with them. And then they ate them and made them like violently ill because they were so expired. They were like years and years expired. Like, yeah, I'm not as good as I'd like to think that I am. I'm like keeping on top of food that expires by any means, but like if it's been there for like 5 or 6 years, I would hope I would notice if it was like having to clean off like 4 layers of dust. But
all you have to do is watch an episode of Hoarders, drink a Red Bull, and smoke some sativa, some nice heavy sativa while you're watching Hoarders, and you will go through all of your cupboards and get out all of the expired shit and dust them and put everything back. And
yeah.
Well,
Should we talk about Patrick's worst day of his life?
Well, I don't know if we want to talk about the actual worst day of his life.
Should we?
Yeah, which one do you want?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you
and me.
Well, I mean, that's a subject that applies to many, and sometimes, often more than, I mean, I think there's like people that don't care about sex, but if you want to talk about that.
I have to check something really quick.
Okay. Well, we were talking about like the whole money thing earlier, and I was thinking about like the shared bank accounts, or what was that?
I did still have something I needed to say about that.
Okay.
In raising Sophie, I'm really glad that Dave is there again with learning about money and like managing money and handling money, because Patrick and I are both
Awful.
Like, we're not the worst, but we definitely have that YOLO outlook on life because of the fact that we like almost died. We both have that like, hey, we've got extra money. You know, of course, like we talked about earlier, first of all, we, you know, donate to things. But we also plan some kind of fun vacation or like something to do with our kids, or something memorable that we try to make memories,
Right.
rather than buy things. And we're both just bad at like planning for the future too far. I don't know.
I'll have my retirement, so.
Yeah.
Like looking back on times like when Savannah was little and stuff, and like I wish that I would have probably made more importance on, you know, kind of trying to figure out clever ways of making money to like get her into a summer camp, or, you know, going on trips and stuff. Like I don't really feel like, I feel like in the childhood years of Savannah and I, like we just really didn't get to go, you know.
Yeah,
to like,
Sophie.
But see, the thing is that nobody, like, they don't realize that. You know what I mean? Like, they've got nothing to compare it to.
I think that they do, though, later, because she has it to compare it to her friends, or
fuck
you know.
that.
But it is. I mean, true. Like if you're growing up as a little girl and you're seeing all your friends and everyone else like going on family vacations and stuff, and you know, it's like they come back from summer break, and it's like, what did you do for summer?
My family was broke? Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, but it didn't. I mean, again, I didn't really have much to compare it to. So, like, even
I had stuff to compare it to.
Like going to, you know, we had,
neighbors.
I had like aunts and uncles and stuff like that that had a lot more money than our family did, and so any opportunity that we got to go out, like, camping, you know what I mean? Like, my grandparents used to take me and my brothers and, you know, when we were all younger and stuff, out camping. And that was what was, like, a summer vacation for us. Like, going out and doing that. Going out and sitting in the camper in the Winnebago. And, you know, going out to, you know, like, Lake City and, you know, doing stuff like that. And, like, I absorbed more of that than I feel like most kids do if they're going every year to these extravagant, you know, things.
Yeah,
like,
but at the same time, though, like, if you can't even afford to take your kid to, you know, like a campground or...
Take them to the park.
Well, yeah, I mean, I took Savannah to the park and stuff, but I'm just saying, like, when a child is growing up and they're going to school... and they're talking amongst their friends, like, oh, what'd you do, you know, like this summer, there tends to be like a little bit of like a, you know, like, I don't know, like I think like I missed out on something because, you know, all my friends are talking about what they did this summer. They went to
Disneyland.
Yeah, they went to Disneyland. They, you know, their parents took them. There's like, you know, like, well, my mom took me to the park.
Right.
I don't know. So for me, there's like a guilt that I feel that I didn't get to, you know, and I think because of that, like, I know now, not like Savannah, I don't feel like she's like resentful about it now and understands, but I'm just saying, like, when you're going through it, there's like a combination of like a parental guilt plus whatever that child's coming home and being like, you know, yeah, Amanda's family just, you know, like took them to, it's like, I don't know, it's like there's like a guilt that goes with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say fuck that. Because even the kids that say that they got to go to Disneyland are going to, you know, and in that mindset, somebody saying, well, I got to go to Disneyland, there's going to be another kid that's like, well, I went to fucking Europe.
Right,
yeah,
exactly. But I'm just saying, when,
like,
as a parent, though, like when you're going through it, there's a sense of guilt, I think.
Yeah.
That you can't provide, like, the things that your kid comes home and is like, so, you know, like, this is cool now. Like, this is the cool toy. Or I guess back in the day when I was like raising Savannah, social media wasn't also like blown up at that time. So there wasn't that also like added pressure that I think comes from like seeing and other people like berating people or, you know, if, you know, it's like, I don't know, everything's just so exposed.
I think that breeds, big dick mentality, if that makes sense. So
probably,
like meaning like, well, my dick's bigger than yours, my dick's bigger than yours, my dick's like bigger than yours.
Keeping
it's
up
like,
with the Joneses
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, you know, and I think any person should, you know, when it comes to their kids, it shouldn't be about the quantity, it should be the quality. So, you know,
that's all they really care about.
That's
is if you
really
try.
all they give.
Yeah.
And
if you were there,
well, I'm not
like, I don't know. Like I've had friends that got to go to, you know, Disney World and Disneyland and get to go do, you know, cruises and, you know, or meet celebrities and things like that. And you know, that all sounds cool. But then, you know, at my age now, I think back and I look at the things that really stood out. Like I went camping with my dad once. We went out in Colorado. He rented an RV and we did a RV camp thing or whatever, and he bought me a buck knife. And I remember that now. You know, I remember that quality time. I think I was like fucking 11 or 12. And he let me have a sip of his, what is it,
Duels?
No. Is it a Miller High Life? The MGM?
Miller
like
Genuine Draft.
Yeah.
MGD.
MGD. He let me have a sip of that.
Yeah.
And fucking 35 right now. I can still remember that.
Yeah.
You know? Ugh, this is what people drink. Ugh, this is what, this is what adults drink. You won't catch me drinking at a Miller Genuine Draft right now, but it's
Yeah.
one of those things. I feel like the parents put more emphasis on the expectation than what the kids do, because kids don't have an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
They know nothing of the world. They're absolutely blank slates.
Yeah.
So you know, friends might say Disney World, Disneyland, all this other stuff, but if they've never been, I mean, Disney World and Disneyland could be Walmart to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I do think it's like where you're raised, though. Like, I think it's like if you're raised amongst a bunch of people that are constantly experiencing those kinds of things, and you're like, you know, the one.
I think
that it does become kind of like, I'm just speaking for kids that just grew up in.
Then when you eventually
You
do
get
to
it.
go, it's so special.
Yeah, you get it, and you like you get it later, and you do realize that like those moments that you were talking about are super important and way more important than anything else, and like the things that you hold on to and those kinds of that sort of thinking. But like there's just like, you have to consider though that not everybody is in that has those kinds of opportunities. Like,
it really breaks down to the experience with the parents and what kind of parent you are. It doesn't matter about the surroundings.
Yeah.
If you're a good parent, like, you know, if you're a good parent but poor, I mean, I think most kids would take that over a shitty parent who has a lot of money.
Absolutely.
yeah, but you don't get to pick and choose though, your parents.
No.
Yeah, but you were a good parent.
Yeah.
Like, well, I feel like I was a good enough parent with what I, you know, had. My experience was totally different growing up than what I tried to be as a parent.
Yeah.
But
kind of give you a baseline as to what not,
but
what
like,
to do and what not to do. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, there was still like this like underlying sort of like I was talking about based off of like my experience, because my experience is that like I, you know, lived in I would say like a maybe like a, not like maybe even like lower middle class, but not like, you know, like poverty neighborhood, maybe middle class neighborhood in California from like the time I was like in preschool until I was like in 5th grade. And a lot of the parents and families and stuff that lived in that neighborhood were very like solid, and they all had, you know, like in my experience, it was very, very seldom that there was like divorced parents or people that had like, you know, issues with like, I don't know. It was also
drama.
1980s, you know, so it's just like this weird kind of, it was no drama. It was like suburban neighborhood. All the neighbors knew each other. Every time like the power would go out in California, like all the neighbors would get together and kids would come out and play and stuff. But I really did feel like as a kid growing up, and not because of any kind of poverty situation at that time, it felt like it was like whatever was going on in my own home or household was different than what I would experience like going over to a friend's house, which was more like a emotional, like our house had internal like drama or fucked upness. I would go over to a friend's house and it was like mom and dad loving, like it would be like me being like one of Sophie's friends coming over and hanging out with you, as opposed to like staying home and dealing
on the most
biggest
immaculate show.
Yeah. Well, it would be like that. Like, and I would want to hang out there for days. Like, I would want to hang out with you guys for days. But in reality, like even though maybe on the outside materialistic world, it looked like we were okay. Like the minivan, or, you know, it was like clean clothes, or, you know, like whatever, those kinds of things. But then like later, like when I was in high school, was like when, you know, things became like a poverty level, and it was just the things that for me, it was like what my high school friends were experiencing, like going and doing, you know, and I didn't want, like, I still had this like exterior to kind of like, I don't know, like hold on to, like, of like, I'm still, you know, like I was ashamed. Like I was ashamed that my mom and my brother were like living in a, you know, like a homeless shelter kind of thing, and that the friends, I was still going to the school with the wealthy kids, but I was putting on a show because I didn't want them to know, you know, but it was disappointing within me that like I wasn't having the same experience anymore. Like I wasn't getting this, you know, like not that I don't know that I would have gotten those experiences of like spring break or, you know, having, you know, nice clothes or any of that at that point. But it felt like this weird, like I had resentment towards my parents at that point for, you know, like making it hard for me in that way.
Well,
it's like probably a spoiled kid kind of feeling. Like, why isn't my life, like, why am I not living in the country club? Like, why am I not getting to go graduate? Why am I not getting to go to this college? Why is no one giving, you know, it was like this weird thing. So I felt like I had to, like, try to not only, like, shield Savannah from, like, just kind of like a false sense of security, you know, with, like, thinking that you're going to be okay. Like, you know, your parents are doing well, like life's fine, you know, because at really any given moment, like anyone can go into that situation. Anyone can become like homeless really quickly. You know, it does not really take much to suddenly not know, even though the rest of your life has been full of security. And I just don't think that, like, and that's maybe why, like, it's just like I get particularly like fired up about people that have like accusations or thoughts or opinions about people and their financial situation at any given time. Like, it just seems to me like, you know,
It's nobody's business.
it's, yeah. And like I said, you know, like rejoice for the people when they're doing well. But I don't know where I went off on another strange tangent, but I was just thinking about like being a parent. I just, you know, I didn't want Savannah to not be able to take part in certain things or whatever.
I think most parents are like that. I think most parents want the best
Of course.
for their kids. And it's kind of a double-edged sword. Because at the same time, you know, even kids that have everything have something to complain about.
Right.
They always figure out something to complain about. You know, kids are kids.
Well, people are people too. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like even people that have everything still have something to complain about, or it's not enough for them, or they have to fulfill it in some other means, you know?
Exactly.
It's like never, there's this, that, like the whole thing, like the money, or it's always just, you know, like you could spend it on 80 million different things or think that you're helping people if you have like an endless supply of it. But like, does it ever really like invoke any kind of happiness?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't think so either.
I think I'd be pretty happy if I was like snorting a fat line off of a fucking racehorse's dick, you know, surrounded by Brazilian models.
Yeah, like for that moment, maybe.
I mean,
Are you really going to feel happy telling Cherish,
my heart
hey,
rate
Cherish,
would be up.
yesterday I went to the racetrack and I snorted a line off the horse's dick.
Wow.
And I was surrounded by Brazilian models. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's
Sounds like-
yeah, that sounds nice. I'm proud of you. That's all I've ever wanted, is you just to say you're proud of me.
Is that your impression of me?
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, hold on. Okay, guys.
Oh, okay, I
Did you
wasn't going
get
to give
into
you one.
this bed?
Yeah, why
You're
not?
making yourself real comfy. Megan and I never get into it. We just foot snuggle sometimes.
We did foot snuggle.
There's no foot snuggle underneath the sheets.
No.
Are you
No,
guys fucking weird?
totally weird, but we didn't foot snuggle under the sheet.
So, we have Patrick here. What should we call him? Because Kenny got to be called Big Daddy.
Wasn't he called PeePaw?
Oh yeah, PeePaw? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've got PeePaw here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So I asked in our Facebook group and on my Instagram if anyone had any questions for you while we're recording with you. So I'm going to ask you all of these questions, okay?
Is there like two?
There's one. It's from Kenny.
Is it really?
Yeah. Kenny Lane asks, when you get into an argument with your wife, why are you right and she is wrong?
I mean, that would entail that I get in arguments with my wife. So.
Fuck you, Kenny. No, but we genuinely haven't been in an argument.
No.
The biggest...
We have conversations.
Yeah.
And usually if, like, it's a discussion that, I don't know, I feel like I know something about, but then in turn I don't, then I admit it. I'm like, oh, wow, I definitely thought it was something different. You know?
Yeah, what's your reaction time for that?
Quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
I think that's good practice. That, like,
I mean, when...
alludes to good practice.
Yeah, I don't
that.
harbor, like, bad thoughts or, you know, I don't go to sleep thinking that fucking bitch. You know?
But I don't think that's easy for, like, I know you're a rare specimen, but I don't think...
feel like that, yeah.
But I don't think that's easy for a lot of people, like, just based off of, like, no, but not example, but, like, observation, I guess, for people.
You and Shannon saw us get into, like, probably one of the most serious discussions we've gotten into ever.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which was just, like, him coming in here and saying, hey, something's bothering me. I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
He talked to me about it. I told him, shit, you're totally right. I'm sorry. I fucked up. Thank you for telling me. Won't happen again. You know?
Yeah. And
Boom, squashed over.
Yeah. And she said that was, like, good communication.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you talking about the meal thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't put a lot of weight into those kinds of...
But you should, like, to me you should.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like,
like,
if something's wrong, or if, like, I feel like, like, hey, just next time for future reference or something like that, you know, let me know.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's not what I meant. Like, I meant in weight in terms of, like, how you guys are a good example for other people.
Oh.
That have poor communication skills. Like, when you're able to see somebody else, like you guys, having good communication skills, it helps people that are struggling with poor communication skills at times. And you guys have good communication skills. Everyone knows that, but it's like not everyone knows how to... It may come easy for you, and you don't put a lot of weight on it, but you should put a lot of weight on it because you're giving a good example to people that are, like, trying to learn off of your example.
We are teaching people how to love, how to communicate.
Does that make sense? Like,
That's what she's
because I
saying.
feel like
People are
Kenny and I
inspired.
have incorporated your guys' communication skills.
Yeah.
Because I'll use you guys as a reference when he and I are talking about something that's, like, uncomfortable or difficult. And, like, it's been helping our relationship. Like, I don't know if that may sound weird.
No,
but it really has.
A lot of problems, like, I know a lot of people have, like, a lot of friends that talk to them about anything that they're going through. I don't have a lot of those. Like, it's mostly just you.
Well,
but most of your specific problems are solved by me telling you, just go talk to that person.
Right. I know. That's what
tell-
I'm saying. I'm trying to, like, say that. I appreciate your guys' ability to be a good example of that. But when you... I guess I misinterpreted when Patrick said he holds no weight in that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's something worthy of weight because it's showing other people how to do things in a way that doesn't have to be, like, crazy and combative.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have a relationship that's, like, somebody checking your every move, your every, you know, like...
You don't have to
spending
fight.
or, you know, like how you did something, like somebody like microscoping. And I feel like for the most part, Kenny and my relationship is really good.
Yeah.
It's just those moments of miscommunication is
Right.
usually based off of his or my prior relationship.
Yep.
You learned skills. And so
You're assuming.
He or I are still trying to communicate like we would if we were communicating with, like, X person, but we're not those people.
Right.
So it's, like, clashing,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, but I
You gotta
feel
give
like...
your new person a chance to just be them.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when you guys are talking about, I was thinking about, like, Kenny and I are not married, but, like, with finances and stuff, or can we talk about that again just like really quick? I think that's a big, huge thing that people usually have problems with. Oftentimes when it's like always communication, trust, or money. It's always like those are like relationship issues that recur.
And I think when you communicate often and well all the time, then you trust each other really easily. Yeah. And when you don't involve yourselves in each other's money, if you can help it, then it's really easy to just not argue about money as long as each one is doing what they can, you know, like we pay for different things, you know.
Like it's easy to say so many years ago I didn't have the same feeling about like concern about money or things like that. So I would have been like, "Oh yeah, I'll, you know, join a joint bank account with you." Yeah. And then
fuck later, that shit.
Yeah. But like if you've already been spending your money in ways
I like monies.
If you've already been spending your monies in ways that worked for you before when you were dating, that shouldn't have to change suddenly when you're married.
Right.
Like, nobody should be, unless you want to do, like, in my opinion, if you want to do like a joint account where it's just everything going into the pot for like the essentials, bills, rent, all of that kind of thing, if that's what works for people, then having that one said joint account. But if that's not what works for people, then, but I think personal spending should always just be separate. Like personal spending should be separate and the essentials should be paid for. And if one person wants to pay for the essentials solely, then the purpose of the other person is to pick up the fun stuff, like the entertainment or whatever, and they get to sort of like dictate that.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't work for those people, because that's kind of like what Kenny and I do. Like he pays for the essentials, and then I pay for groceries, fun.
Exactly what we do.
And I like monitor that, you know, but I also have to pay my own bills. So it's like I have to figure that in, but I know what anything extra from what are my...
is for fun and groceries.
Right, fun and groceries. And that's the thing, like if I have too much money on my hands, I'll spend too much. Like I know that about me. And that's what I've been like trying to prove to myself at work lately with tips. Like I keep setting my tips aside, and I've never done that before because I've never made tips like from previous jobs. So it's like this is like my first tip making job. So usually I use my tip money as like fun money. Like I'm like, oh, like I can go buy some weed candy with this money. I can go buy a Red Bull. Like I just pay with my tips.
Yeah.
So I've never actually tried to save them, and I've been saving them this month, and it's like a weird feeling because I can see them in the jar.
Yeah.
Like I can see them accumulating. I like it because I know that's like, you know, building, but I also know it's taking away from some of our extra fun money because usually, you know,
you're
that's
just
part of the
saving
fun money
your fun.
too.
You're saving your
saving the fun money for trips. And later and stuff, but it's just like I do like being held more accountable about money than people that just have like no thought about it.
Yeah.
Like I do like thinking about it. And that's kind of like, I don't know, a reason why I personally am not saying that like, you know, I don't know, there's anything wrong with people that live with like no concept of money. Like, I don't think that makes them like a bad person.
No.
But I personally would not want to live my life because I'm so, you know, thoughtless about things unless I make myself thoughtful about them. I'd rather like be thoughtful about money. So I 12 hours and 55 minutes of my feelings about that.
Let me just say, we've been talking about money forever.
Well, I just feel like if anybody else is listening, I do feel like people struggle with that so much. Like, it's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't delete the part where you guys are talking about your ways of doing stuff, too, because I think that is helpful.
I may have, but we'll see.
Did you?
I don't know, but I just think that's helpful.
Just
Like,
deletes things.
well, don't delete them without, like, I don't know. Well,
Okay,
I guess I can't.
I'm done deleting.
Okay.
I'm done deleting, guys.
But I thought that was essential because you guys do things some way that might work for some people. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Cherish. You're not going to believe this.
What?
You know how I normally struggle with the D?
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're not going to believe this. Today, I strangely had a very rare occurrence of something known as the C. Constipation.
Oh no. Have you ever heard about colon broom?
Colon broom? No.
Okay. Let me just tell you a little bit about it, okay?
Okay.
It cleanses your colon and helps create regular bowel movements, improving digestion and your gut health.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Does colon broom also help boost energy? Does it help your weight goals become easy to reach? And is it keto and fasting friendly?
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
And if you use promo code WORSTDAY10, you can get $10 off and free shipping.
No way.
Whoa. You should probably get yourself some colon broom and fix that C problem you've got.
I agree.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Here, give it to her.
Future Cherish. You're going to probably be laying in bed right now, looking at this, and I'm going to be asleep. You should roll over and start tugging on my pud.
Okay. All right. Thank you. God. Okay.
On my pud.
That's a term that my family used to use that was so gross. Like my family used to use that tugging on the pud.
No way!
Probably the Georgians or Georgia, not
Georgians?
Georgians, not the Georgians, but the Georgians. Yeah, Georgian crackers. Oh, I hate it. My mom says that too. She used to say that to my brother Shane. Quit tugging on your pad. Like when he was just like a toddler and he'd be yanking on his ball sack or whatever. Oh God. And then I had an Uncle Pud, and then there's like the Pud when you're driving, like the Pud 101 or Pud 1 or whatever when you're driving up to like Hoodsport. Like they have like it's their electrical system.
PUD.
PUD.
Okay.
But it looks like Pud. So I think of that tugging your pud every time I drive by there.
Gross.
But I've never heard anybody else outside of my family.
Look at you, what you guys
Way
have
to go.
in common.
Way to go. Okay. All right. So
you're
the
tugging
fire.
your pud.
You're tugging your
sitting there
pud and the
tugging my
fire's
pud.
happening.
So the primary story I wanted you to tell, even though you have many stories, the main story I wanted you to tell was the house fire.
So we had this place out in Colorado Springs. It was in a cul-de-sac, and my ex-wife told me at 3 o'clock in the morning. She woke me up and she said, "Hey, it looks like the backyard is glowing. It looks like somebody is setting off fireworks." So I got up to go look out the window, and it looked like the backyard was on fire, like somebody was shining a bright light. We had, reds and yellows and everything glowing up the back fence. So I ran outside to go look, and sure as shit, the side of the house was engulfed in flames. So I ran back inside and I screamed, "Get everybody out of the fucking house." At the time we had Murdoch and our other dog and, my ex-wife and my son and the 2 dogs being asleep the entire time throughout all of this, not even realizing what was going on. So she started waking everybody up and piling them out into the front yard. I ran outside to the front to help her get our son in his car seat and get the 2 dogs in the back. Mind you, this is it was a Ford Escape. It was like a 2013 or something like that.
A small SUV.
Yeah, a small SUV.
How did Murdoch even fit in the back of that?
Murdoch and our other dog fit pretty good in the back seat.
Wow.
Or, well, not the back seat, the
very
very back. The,
Yeah.
what do you call it? The cargo area or whatever. And I was in nothing but my little Ranger panties at the time. I had no shirt, nothing.
Gosh.
February time frame in Colorado, snow on the ground.
It's
and
giving me
everything.
like chills just thinking about it.
Don't, her thyroid.
Yeah, don't get my thyroid activated.
Yeah.
Or unactivated, I guess.
So we got everybody in the car, and I remember my ex-wife saying, "Hey, we need to grab some important things," and I ran back in there, and the house was completely engulfed in smoke on the inside. It smelled terrible. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with what, like, burning insulation and, like, burning plastic smell, but it, like, goes
Sounds like
into
it
your
would be bad, though.
lungs
Yeah.
immediately, and it feels like you've smoked 1,000 cigarettes all at once.
Aye.
And I ran back out, and as I was running back out and throwing things into the car, into, like, the, you know, the extra space that we had, my son starts saying, "Oh, you stink. Oh, it smells so bad."
Oh, jeez.
And I looked back to see Murdoch, the Great Dane, shooting diarrhea up
Oh, gosh.
the back windshield.
Yeah.
Like, all the way up
Yeah.
the back windshield. And his ears down, and him looking at me like, "I can't control it, I'm a fucking idiot," you know.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's probably like stress diarrhea.
oh my god, it was terrible. He was asleep. He was
But he probably
asleep
woke-
15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's shooting diarrhea
Yeah,
up
he probably, like,
the
realized-
side of this windshield.
Yeah.
On the inside, my son is like laughing, crying, and gagging at the same time.
God.
My ex-wife is screaming. I'm in my, like, essentially underwear out in February in Colorado in snow,
Yeah.
and my house is on fucking fire.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that is glowing and keeping, like, the area illuminated is my house being engulfed in flames.
Right.
And so I grabbed Murdoch by his leash and pulled him out and to help him finish shitting. And the whole time I was talking to him, I'm like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you so badly. I'm going to strangle you out in the snow." And in my fury, I get a tap on my shoulder, and it's some fucking broad from the news station, and she's got a guy holding a fucking camera up
Oh, no.
in my face saying, "Oh my gosh, we just got here. What's going on?" And I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. It was only like mind you, it's like 20 minutes into this whole thing. So I have a woman with a microphone and a guy behind her holding a camera while I'm holding this big fucking white dog with diarrhea shit all over his ass and all over his tail.
Did it get on you?
No, I don't think. It
Wow,
it might
that's impressive.
have. It might have. I don't.
That's impressive.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. And this woman, she was like, "What's going on?" And I think at the time the only thing that came out was like, "I want to fucking kill myself. I want to fucking die.
Yeah.
I want to die. This is the worst that I'm having to dealing with this
The worst day
stupid
of your
big
life?
fucking dog." I would say it was probably
there.
one of the worst days of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally the fire department showed up to help put the house out. So, and they had to spray down all of the fucking tile that I had just put in to the house. Yep. Oh yeah, then the alarm company fucking gave me a call after the fact too.
Jeez.
"Hey, we saw that you had a fire." It's like, dude, and it was after they had already put the fire
God,
out.
to add insult to injury.
Yeah, they gave me a call.
Gosh.
No, they were like,
Hey, we got a notification that your house is on fire.
I'm like, well,
Yep.
A little too late.
yeah.
You're right. So, how did it start?
So, they had a fire investigator come out, and that kind of like prompted my desire to want to work in the fire industry, because this dude like showed up in fire boots and like khakis and like a nice tucked in shirt.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I make my own hours. I do whatever I want. You know, like
Yeah.
whenever there's a house fire, I go out there and take some photos and you know, give him my my unbiased opinion as to what produced it. You know,
Yeah.
I make tons of money.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking sweet, man. So I went
Yeah.
out there, and he said, he said that he was like, he said it looked like somebody might have flicked a cigarette over the fence and hit our we had like a trash can that had a ton of compost in it.
Oh no.
That it might have caught it. He also said that it was either that or it was bad wiring for the oven. So it was kind of inconclusive.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that kind of thought that maybe I might have started it too, like on accident, because I had dumped the remnants of a barbecue, like the cold coals or whatever in there.
Yeah.
But he kept reassuring me that that wasn't that's not what caused it. But like,
Still probably still like bothers you, like the
Yeah,
thought- the
no, like,
idea
there
of
was-
that.
yeah.
That's probably why you're extra cautious about stuff
yeah,
like that.
I am super cautious about all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well, it's understandable in either way. Like,
Well,
even
having a
if you
house
had
fire
it-
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't had a house fire, but
It
I would
fucking
imagine that it
stinks your
would.
entire house up.
Yeah.
Like, we ended up moving after that. So
Yeah.
we had that house, and that was like, you know, it was a big investment. It was, at the time, it was a very expensive house. And, you know, I was kind of hoping that that was going to be like the family house type thing, because it was in a cul-de-sac, had a nice yard, had a nice view of the mountains, and I want to say it was a 3-bedroom. It was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. And I was like, man, this is a good house to have out in Colorado. But you know, after that house fire, you walk in and it just immediately would hit your lungs. Even
Yeah.
after the cleaning company. And that was one thing, like, I don't know if you guys do shout outs or anything, but
No,
I
that's a
don't have
shout-out.
any
What is
I don't
it,
have a problem with shouting out.
American Red Cross, they fucking, I mean, no shit. As soon as, you know, the fire department showed up, as soon as the fire was out, they had a rep from the American Red Cross come out, and he was like, hey, we heard you had a fire. You can't go back in there. Let's hook you up with a hotel.
I can't
geez.
imagine having fucking Murdoch in a hotel room.
He was actually really good, except for the fact that he shit in the hotel room.
Oh yeah,
Like
of course he
4
did.
fucking times.
God, what is wrong with his guts?
I don't know.
He seems like, I think he just like probably got super stressed out once he realized like something was wrong.
Well, we
you
were
know?
also in like the beginning of process of trying to figure out what was wrong with Murdoch, because he's such a unique dog. But
Unique.
unique,
Wow.
not as in.
Because nobody can ever really explain like why he has just like sudden random bouts of
Explosive diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
yeah.
He's Megan's kindred
That's
spirit.
what I'm saying, but like yeah, I'm sure that like situation though made him probably like nervous once he realized like something was wrong.
Well,
you know?
the funniest part with him too was like when he. So like my ex-wife had gotten like a sucker from like a friend of theirs, and the sucker was like, it was like a THC sucker or whatever, like a weed sucker, and she stuck it underneath the like underneath the sink in the bathroom. And from what
Why?
I don't it was like in a cabinet thing.
Oh, okay.
But from what I remember, it was like, oh yeah, all you need is like to suck that fucker like 5 or 6 times and you're fucked up. And I remember we came home from getting dinner and Murdoch was in the corner like shaking.
Oh.
And it was, all we found was the wrapper. So he ate the entire fucking sucker, and it was like a big thing like that. And he ate the entire thing and was completely high off of his ass.
Yeah.
You want me to talk about shitting my pants?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all love a good shitting your pants story. Do you mean like how you did it yesterday, or you mean a different story?
I straight did it yesterday, too.
I think they know how you did it yesterday.
I had some real loose butthole yesterday. It wasn't really much of anything to talk about.
I had it today, and I experienced something that I don't like. Do you guys ever have diarrhea where it's like it's gone, but your body, it's like a diarrhea dry heave? You're like, your body's still like spasming, like trying to like push something out, but there's nothing else in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that. That's just baby shit.
Yeah.
I have that shit all the time.
I know.
That's
it's like
fucking
what?
normal
That's
for
like
me.
every day.
That's a normal
like
thing.
5-6 times a
Are
day.
you a diarrhea diva too? I didn't know. We had so many. Okay, well, what's your favorite shitting your pants story? Number one.
Whew.
Well, okay, what was the worst? What was the most public one? Most shameful one? Most uncomfortable one?
I don't know. I'm one of those guys that, like, at the moment I'm pretty embarrassed, but then after the fact I just don't give a fuck. Like, I'm never going to see those people ever again.
I know,
Type
but
thing.
for a normal person, would a normal person be embarrassed?
I mean, I'm sure some of the shitting experiences that I've had would probably need counseling afterwards.
Yeah, Megan too.
Bagram was a good one. So Bagram was a massive base over in Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. And anytime that you were heading back out to the States or heading back to anywhere, you had to go through Bagram. Bagram was like the big international like airport. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was on mid-tour leave. So it was my first deployment. And what mid-tour leave is, you know, you essentially kind of...
Spring break.
Yeah, it's like a spring break. You pick a time that is available to you to go back home. So I fly into Bagram to wait for another flight, a commercial flight, to fly back home to the States. And in Bagram, they have a USO right outside of the airport, where the airport or the base
what's a
is at.
USO?
I can't remember what it stands for, but it's like a community building type thing. Like they've got like TVs and you know, relaxing chairs and you know, you can get on the internet and stuff there. They have like computers to do like calls, and they had a little coffee place in it. And the one that was outside of, or the one that was in Bagram, was called the Pat Tillman USO, and it was named after Pat Tillman, the United States Army Ranger, who was at one time an NFL player.
Yeah, I thought that. But
Beautiful man.
Yeah.
By the way, beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I crush hard on Pat Tillman.
Yeah.
Good man. He had this like amazing contract to, you know, for millions of dollars, and then 9/11 hit, and he was like, "Fuck that. I'm going to become a United States Ranger and fucking, you know, kill shit and do stuff." And so that's what he did. And he unfortunately was killed over in Afghanistan. And so they named that, I think he was with the Cardinals. Yeah, with Cardinal
sounds familiar
NFL team, the
because,
Cardinals.
Yeah, because that would be the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would have
You
known
would've heard
about.
Yeah.
That's why.
Beautiful
probably.
hair too.
Huh.
He had
I may have
long,
seen his hair.
long, beautiful
Can't get
hair.
a visual right now, but yeah.
But yeah, so they named that USO after him, and the thing was that it kind of looked like a log cabin.
Oh, wow.
On the inside of it, it looked very
Rustic?
rustic. It had a huge fucking like entertainment area.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the bathrooms had like pinups.
Oh, interesting.
On the stalls.
Like old classic pinups?
No,
or current
like
ones?
just well, I would
what year
maybe
was
like
that?
80s or 90s.
So furry bush and
like,
skinny buddies.
Yeah, like
High waist bikini.
yeah.
Grunge.
On the inside of the stalls.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
No, it would look like it was just a bunch of titties and
Nice.
and
Suntan?
push. And,
Were they tan? Were they pale? Were they
no,
eyeliner?
they were very tanned. But the ironic thing was
Fluffy bangs.
that their tan line is not where their bikini line was at.
They have to
so
show that they sometimes wear a
it
one
low,
that's way
but
more
it was usually
provocative.
up
Got it.
over here.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
you get the idea. You can fantasize about the
Yeah,
different places.
or
of the
vice
bikinis.
versa or
Okay,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we get it.
Is this relevant to the story?
Sure.
It's about Pat Tillman, okay?
Okay.
And he was a great man.
And he was a great man.
And he had a great hair.
Yeah, he had beautiful hair.
Beautiful hair.
Beautiful hair. So I got to Bagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hanging out at the Pat Tillman. Okay. And I can't remember what the time frame was like for my flight. You know, it was like 5 or 6 hour layover.
Yeah.
You know, over there. So so what really happens is you go in and they tell you really when your flight is going to be, and it can be really any time.
Yeah.
You
You just
know,
have to hang out and chill or not.
Yeah. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that I
Had a shit?
I had a shit. All the MREs that I had been eating, which are
Explain what an MRE is.
meal ready to eat, and
A meal packet.
yeah, they're like a big package
A
of
vacuum sealed.
yeah
Yeah.
diarrhea machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice
They
combination.
they either make you shit uncontrollably or they stuff you up
yeah.
Nice.
for weeks on end,
Yeah.
where you won't shit for like a week or two, depending on whether or not you eat the packaged
Is it supposed to
cheese.
make you like function better?
I mean, yeah, in a way,
Like,
I guess.
how? I don't know.
Well, the less amount of time that you're shitting is the more time that you can pull security.
Yeah.
So,
So do they like figure it out though? Like, because suddenly you are gonna have to shit. So
yeah. So, and when you do shit, it's
like a nightmarish.
It's horrible. So, I needed to shit.
Mm-hmm.
I went into the Pat Tillman to go use the bathroom, but it was all out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, well, there outside of it, right next to the airport, was like a line of 11, I think, porta shitters, which are, you know, latrines or portable
Like a porta
toilets.
potty.
Yeah, porta potty. There was 11 of them sitting out there. So I pulled my pants up, and because I was in the midst of pushing,
Yeah.
but didn't, you know, climax out of my ass
Yeah.
Because you saw there was no toilet paper.
because I saw there was no toilet paper. So I got up
Yeah.
and duck waddled all the way over outside to where the other 11 porta shitters were at,
Yeah.
and I went stall to stall,
Yeah.
and every stall I went to had no toilet paper.
Oh,
my
no.
And like I said, there was 11 of them
Yeah.
out there. So I got to the last one, and it had no toilet paper in it. So at this point, I just needed to let loose. So I let loose,
Uh-huh.
and I shit everywhere in that toilet or in that porta shitter.
Oh no.
There was really not much that I could do about it. I had a flight number, and they set it over the fucking intercom thing.
Yeah.
That was my flight. So I proceeded to pull my boots off and wipe my ass with my socks.
Oh, yes.
You've been there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wiped my ass the best that I could with my socks and threw my socks in there and ran to the line to get onto this flight because I wanted to get on and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So I flew from, I think it was like 12 or 14 hours or something like that was what the flight came out to be. Might have been longer than that, to be honest with you. Probably like 16 or 18. From Afghanistan back to the States with no socks. And I ended up going into the bathroom, and I tried using some of the hand wash to wash my ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had shit everywhere. There was like, it was not a little bit of shit. There was shit everywhere.
Yeah.
To the point that I had to untie my boots. So if you can imagine this, like, my pants are tucked into my boots. Right. Okay. My shirt is tucked into my pants.
Right.
And I have my top zipped up. I had to unzip my top, put my top on one of the hangers, untuck my shirt, untie my boots. I wasn't wearing socks because I used both of my socks to wipe my ass. And then take my pants off.
In an airplane bathroom?
In an airplane bathroom. To then pull my underwear off because it smelled like shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Did you get rid of your underwear?
Huh?
Did you get rid of your underwear?
I threw my underwear in the little trash can that's in the commercial airplane thing bathroom to then wash my shitty balls and shitty asshole and shitty butt cheeks with paper towels, the hand towels, and soap and water.
That's such a long flight to feel that disgusting.
I could smell myself as soon as I sat down.
Could smell you.
Yeah. I didn't give a fuck. I was a hero. I was an American hero.
Shitty,
a real
stinky
American hero.
American hero.
Yeah.
Well, that's to be expected. They can't. People have to be realistic.
Yeah.
Is it to be expected? You guys look at me like I'm an absolute freak that I don't shit my pants all the time.
I know, but a lot of people shit their pants though.
Well, see, the one benefit is the smell of my stinky feet kind of superseded the smell of shit on my ass cheek. Yeah. Because I was not wearing socks and I was wearing stinky boots.
Yeah.
And then my feet started sweating on the flight. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it was bad.
I'm sure that the people sitting next to you, though, like, actually probably, it may have made them, like, maybe in, like, whoever was sitting next to you, that may not, who knows, maybe they smell like shit, too. Like, you don't even know. Because
I can't remember if we stopped anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I remember the flight was pretty vacant. There wasn't many people on there, and I mean, it was like a jumbo jet looking motherfucker, like a 747 or whatever they are, 757.
I know is that I feel like at some point, and maybe some people have had a larger span during their lifetime of not smelling like shit or shitting themselves or having like any of those mishaps or whatever. But I feel like there comes a time in everyone's life, I could be wrong. Well, I mean, I'm sure, like, even when you're a baby, but in someone's life, they have to have shit themselves. Like, I feel like even the people that don't shit themselves for, like, 40 years, and they think that they've somehow or another, like, missed, like, they, like, got away scot-free, that eventually those are the people that are going to be shitting themselves galore.
Yeah, I think I was like...
When you're 80 or...
I see.
Like,
it's going to catch up to me.
You're eventually, not just you, but anybody that's never, at some point, I feel like people will be like, oh, that's what that person was talking about.
The other thing is that, like, over on big bases like that, they have, like, the equivalent of a Starbucks on them. And I want to say it's Green Bean is the name of the coffee place that's like specific to military bases. And they have a thing called a Moab, which is like
What is
the
that?
mother of all brews or whatever I think is what it is.
Oh.
And it is like fucking 4 espresso shots, and and when you have been depleted of like caffeine outside of fucking tiny energy drinks like that, and coffee that your loved ones send you, or the coffee packets that are in fucking the MREs and shit.
And you love coffee.
I love coffee. Going to a big base that has that, coming from a small little fucking outpost out in the middle of buttfuck Afghanistan, you go, you get real stupid with it. You go full dumb with it. And I went full dumb with it plenty of times.
Yeah.
And after taking like a sniff, just a little like that, it immediately makes you want to shit your pants. Like you lose all fucking control whatsoever. Your heart is racing. You feel like you're about to have a fucking heart attack.
Gosh.
And
Fun.
Yeah, that sounds great.
going to a shopette that has, infinite amounts of chewing tobacco and cigarettes and stuff. And it's like, I need to fucking load up.
Yeah.
I left with an empty duffel bag just to fill it up full of shit,
I get that. We would do the same thing for sure.
Probably.
And
Load
they
full of
fucking
drugs.
they like jack the prices up too, because they know that there's a bunch of dickhead infantry guys fucking
Just
leaving an outpost
dying.
that are like, man, dude, I could really go for another tan t-shirt because all my other tan t-shirts are covered in fucking chicken shit and and falling apart and stained with my sweat and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll get a fucking tan t-shirt for like $23. It's like, fuck, dude, it's a t-shirt. I stripped this shit up and cleaned my weapon with it.
Could wipe your ass with it.
Yeah, I could have.
Needed to.
No, well, see, that was the thing is I thought about that too. I thought about crop topping myself. Because I have done that before where I need to shit and didn't have any toilet paper. So I would pull out my fucking Gerber knife and cut the entire bottom part of my shirt.
So just your little belly button was hanging out?
Because your fucking sergeant major can't fucking see that shit. He sees your shirt like this,
Yeah, that's smart.
Wait.
What's that?
Okay.
Explain what?
Nothing.
Yeah. You have a uniform. You have, a uniform you're supposed to be wearing.
You can't have a belly shirt on in the military is basically what you're saying.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no,
he went for the belly shirt. Oh.
Yeah, so it'd be like
okay.
if I was wearing this, like a normal button up or whatever, and then cutting this shirt
Your
up to like right here
Okay.
to use that lower part. Which I've done that to clean weapons and stuff before. And I've done that for, having to shit out in Afghanistan before too. There was a time before I think what they call them now is the combat shirt, which is like a, I want to say it was probably created by line guys. Guys at the front
What's a line? Oh, the
like
front
guys
line?
that, as a means to lessen the amount of suck, that you'd have to endure wearing wearing a full uniform and then wearing a bulletproof vest on top of wearing your
Okay, so the front of the line guys have to wear more?
or
less?
No, they wear the same thing for
Yeah.
the most part, but they have to wear it longer.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to guys that get to go back to like nice bases and stuff, they can take all that shit off once they get into their hooch.
Oh, gotcha.
But like for guys that are stuck up on top of a fucking mountaintop or sitting out in a trench somewhere, out in 104 degree weather.
Yeah.
That have to wear it for 18, 19 hours straight, before they can get some kind of relief for an hour or two before they have to go right back to another 19-hour shift.
Yeah. How do you even stay hydrated like during that amount of time?
Drink water.
Yeah, but that just seems like so much.
Yeah.
They force them to drink water, don't they?
Well,
but it's readily available though, right? Like, okay, well, that's good.
Water?
Oh,
I mean, I've been
it.
I've been at places where water was not
so you just like ration
available.
your water, like what you expected, the time length that you expected to be somewhere.
If you go to like a big base or whatever, you'll see like dudes fucking pounding water.
Yeah.
Just to prepare for whenever they're gone for like a day or two.
Yeah, but that's crazy though. Like pounding water, like because I feel like if you pound water, you have to like kind of like urinate more, and then you go somewhere where the water's not readily available. It just seems like you would dehydrate quickly and all that gear and stuff. Like you just be sitting there like in a mini like sweat lodge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just gotta hydrate to dominate.
Yeah,
hydrate when you
I've
can.
drank fucking extremely hot water before that had sat in the sun. Like it's not cool, refreshing whatsoever. It's like drinking fucking hot bath water. It sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And then,
just whatever you have. You
Whatever
can't raise
you
your
can.
hand and be like, I'm sorry, I'm thirsty.
I know, but I'm just thinking of like most people though. Like that's
usually
a body's an amazing thing that it can survive in certain elements
usually how it goes is like depending on however long you're gonna be out, you've got a 24-hour pack, it's a 48-hour. I think is what the assault pack, which is like a medium size thing. It's like a 2 to 3 day,
like a water bag,
backpack that you have, and then you have your rucksack, which is you're looking more alongside like a week, and then you fill that fucker with water. You've got tons and tons of water, and how like I personally used to do it is I would stuff water bottles in there. So every water bottle, if you ever look at, there's that much. And for those who can't see, I'm holding up about a 2-inch difference between my fingers of where there's just airspace in a bottle. So I would crack the cap and then squeeze the bottle to where the water would hit to the very top of the water would hit the very top of the
like
bottle.
The lid?
Yeah. And then twist. And then duct tape, or I can't remember what it's called, like 100-mile-per-hour tape or whatever. It's it's pretty much duct tape. The cap, so that there's no way that cap is gonna loosen up and spill water into my shit.
But it would give you just a little bit more space.
Give me a little bit more space. And if you did 4 of those, you would have enough space for a 5th one in between that gap.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so it would make a spot like this big, the size of a basketball or a volleyball or in your bag with 5 things of water.
Right.
That's so resourceful.
And you would do stuff like that, and you'd have guys that like would, you have your Camelback too, which was, the little backpack that you had that had water in it and fill that thing up. But you would, water and ammo are the 2 number 1 priorities that you always have to make sure you had, because you can't fulfill a mission without one of them. You have to have both of them.
Yeah.
So, but I've drank fucking hot Gatorade, hot water. It's been sitting out in 114 fucking degree weather.
Yeah.
Makes me feel a lot better that I went to Afghanistan as opposed to going to like Kuwait, during Desert Storm and shit. Like those guys definitely have to deal with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight.
Well, yeah. My only close relation to the idea of that is just like watching the show Survivor. Like,
It's pretty much what it is. It's like,
but
you're sitting out there, and it's not like, there's no like break time. You eat whenever you can eat. That's kind of one of the greatest things is having those big cargo pockets, is that you can throw like crackers.
Yeah.
And throw like little snacks in there that, while you're taking a knee, looking out and stuff, you can grab something out and eat it.
Yeah.
And then chug some water or do whatever you're going to do.
Right.
But yeah, it's a eye-opening experience to pushing your body and pushing yourself to like the point of dehydration,
Yeah.
And pushing yourself to the point of like,
where it's like becomes like you're not utilizing your resources appropriately.
Yeah.
You're just like going to desperation.
There have been plenty of times where I've sat there and I could feel my body dying.
Oh my God.
Like I felt like my body was giving up.
Yeah.
And my brain and my will to keep moving forward was not in line with what my body was willing to do.
Right.
And that was like, those were some of the scarier points where it was like, I had voices in my head telling me like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Keep moving. Keep moving. And you can feel your legs just buckling out. You can feel tingles in your toes, or you couldn't feel your toes at all. And depending on whatever the weather, was doing, like if it was fucking freezing cold out and you've stopped shivering, and you're sitting in 3 feet of snow on top of a mountain that's a part of the fucking Kush Mountains.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like,
Afghanistan.
yeah, like, what the fuck, dude? You stop shivering, you pissed your pants, an hour ago.
Yeah.
And you can't even feel your inner thighs anymore. Like,
right.
God, I'm such a wuss.
Well,
but the thing is that like when you realize that there's no out, when you realize there's no like, hey, Sergeant, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's like, that motherfucker doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to do it. Like, nobody around you wants to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a point.
Like, do you have a Cliff Bar?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I fucking hate Cliff Bars. I've eaten so many of those fucking things.
Yeah.
Like, you get to the point where you realize, I don't know, it's like,
You don't have a choice, so suck it up and...
yeah, it's like when everybody is angry. Everybody is upset that they're having to do something.
Right.
And there's a point where like bitching doesn't like make a difference.
Right.
And
Or
so,
if it does make a difference, it's like not a positive one.
yeah, like everybody is to that point where, you're just like, you were so miserably upset that you don't want to say anything because you don't want to be that guy either.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that person to say something because, yeah.
Yeah, duh. They all
Nobody
yeah.
is like, oh, this is a fucking great vacation,
I don't know. One thing that I really love about you is all the pictures of you from Afghanistan. Anytime there's like a group of people, they're all like super
boo-boo face.
super boo-boo face because I mean, yeah, it fucking sucks. And you're the only person in every group with like a huge smile on your face.
Yeah.
I developed a thing early on that like, I don't know, I started like enjoying the suffering. Like, if that makes sense. I just kept thinking, I was like, dude, in my mind I was like, this can't get any worse. And then it would get worse. I was like, get the fuck out of here, really? Fucking yes, like, hell yeah, man, bring it. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
It was like, man, I can't believe that that this is getting worse and worse by the minute,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's spilled over into, like, our life for sure. Just handling anything that's shitty and terrible that happens. We're just like, well,
Yeah.
All right.
I've died laughing so many times with so many different situations that I've dealt with. Like, man, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Really? This is what you're gonna throw at me? Okay, fucking bring it on, dude. You know, like, I've got a very big, like, fuck you type mentality when it comes to, like, shitty situations. Like, I've been in some real asshole shitty situations, and I have dealt with that with a lot of other guys, and I don't know, it's just like that is like the one benefit of the military that I will say. You know, it helped me understand that, like, things can be so much worse.
Yep.
And when they are that much worse, you've got to expect it to get even worse than that. You know, and when it happens, it's just like, you know, whatever.
Go with the flow.
Go with it.
Okay.
Shit! It's 5:50. I gotta go grab my phone.
Okay, well, bye. Thanks.
Thank
for
you.
being here. That was
Plenty of other stories.
well, Patrick had to run out suddenly.
Not because of shitting his pants.
Not due to shitting his pants, but he had something else to do. But anyway, we thank you for listening. You can find us on all the social mediums. We're in our Facebook group a lot, chatting it up and posting vids and pics and shit. It's just called The Worst Day of My Life. If you have an email to send us, we haven't read an email in a long time. Next episode, we're going to read some emails, I promise you guys. But if you have some to send us, in the meantime, you can send those to us at theworstdaypodcast@gmail.com. Just tell us about the worst day of your life. Just remember that it could always be worse. You could be in the fucking military in Afghanistan right now. Just don't worry about it. It's not that bad. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.